How could you let her go and do a thing like this, June?
What do you think? I didn't know.
Foolhardy! Hey guys, welcome to Pillbox Movies. I'm Hank, and today we're going to be watching the 1996 film Hard 8. This film is the directorial debut of Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't think I need to explain to you who Paul Thomas Anderson is. You probably know him if you're given to watching the content that's on this channel already. His noted works include Magnolia, The Master, Phantom Thread, and Punch Drunk Love, and There Will Be Blood, which is considered by many to be the greatest film of the 21st century. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I quite enjoy Paul Thomas Anderson as a director. But anyways, I thought it'd be a good idea to check out his first feature film, since I've watched all of his other movies, and yeah, let's see how it stacks up. Why not? Samuel Goldwyn production. Haven't seen that in a long time. What was the last Samuel Goldwyn joint I saw? Oh, I know. It was Endings, Beginnings. Drake Doremus, you've betrayed us. And Samuel L. as Jimmy! Ooh, Robert Elswit from this early on. Wow. Robert Elswit was the working collaborator, cinematographer for PTA all the way up till, I want to say, Phantom Thread. Elswit wasn't available. I think he was doing Nightcrawler, something with one of the Gilroy brothers, and PTA decided to take up doing the cinematography on his own with the help of some gaffers. Young John C. Reilly before Will Ferrell fucked him up forever.
Hey.
What?
You want a cup of coffee?
This is me, young John C. Reilly. This is how I act. What? Back when people smoked in restaurants. I kind of remember this transition period.
What's your name?
Nice highlight. Good job, Robert Elswit.
John?
Sydney. You know how to count cards? You said you were playing blackjack. Do you know how to count cards?
No.
But it is rare to find first-time directors finding good cinematographers to collaborate on a really defined, nice, clean look for their first feature.
Hey, John, look at me. If you want to be a wise ass, go outside and take a seat. If you want to talk to me, well then...
PTA apparently has been reading David Mamet as of late.
Let's talk about Vegas.
So I think something that that PTA doesn't get enough credit for, at least these days, he's certainly better known as a director, but his screenwriting skills are really up to par.
Let's talk about what happened to you. Because something did happen.
Especially in his kind of script construction, his plot construction. He has a wealth of ideas that blends well with his directorial style, and he knows how to tell stories that are kind of like very powerful and emotional and experiential, but also have a tint of allegory in them. But something that's kind of been underlooked, and perhaps rightfully so, he's like reduced it down to closer to bare essentials these days, is his dialogue writing.
You want to help me? You want to be my friend? Then give me $6,000.
In his early days, kind of like a Tarantino, he was quite verbose and liked adding flair and like conversational ticks to his performers, to his characters. You can kind of see the influence of kind of noir and David Mamet in his early work.
Can you give a total stranger $6,000 because that's my trouble, okay?
And that kind of definitely reached a boiling point in like Magnolia and Punch Drunk Love. And while I appreciate that he's kind of like reduced that down more and more as his films have gotten more mature and kind of visually adept and secure in their own visual acuity, I don't know. I don't hate his dialogue writing. It's very mannish.
You went to Vegas to win some money?
No, I want to lose some money.
It's very apparent that it was written by a man, but good if you're into that sort of stuff.
That gonna be it?
Yeah, I think so.
weird parallels to Quentin Tarantino. You almost feel like he had just watched Pulp Fiction and was using the same kind of setups in the kind of the diner locale. Diner is also something that evidently was endemic of the 90s. We rarely see diner scenes these days.
I'd eat.
How long can you eat? How long can you live on $50?
I don't know.
I would bet
2 days.
not very long.
And believe me, if you pull anything, I will fuck you up.
I believe you.
Who did the music for this? I don't hate it. Sounds like somebody like copying off of Terrence Blanchard. It's John Bryan, of course. I should have known.
If there's anything you want, please don't call me later.
It's the rival porn maker in Boogie Nights. Oh God, Gwyneth Paltrow in the 90s.
Hello, Captain.
Hello again.
Hey.
Do you remember my name?
Clementine.
That's right.
Just like the movie.
Exactly.
Oh wow. Just like the
is
other
a memory
movie.
of me. The way you wanted to have sex on the couch.
Remember my name?
Sydney.
Then why do you call me Captain?
Because you seem like
Oh,
the captain
Jesus.
to me, you know? I think
90s Gwyneth Paltrow seems to think that accent work is the way to work your way up the Hollywood system.
Are you required to flirt?
I can't tell him to fuck off and leave me alone.
As a rule.
It's interesting that she's being so transparent with this absolute stranger, but that is the way that men write women.
You don't have to do that with me.
Jimmy paid for your drink.
Samuel L. Back when he still tried to wear hair.
Says you remember.
Really
her.
nice angles they're
Brand
taking.
Elizabeth.
Jimmy, thanks for the drink.
Hey, my pleasure. I saw you playing crap over the original Doom. You bet the hard 8 for 1,000 and you pressed it for. So you gave up big balls bets on the hard way to play Keno, huh?
It passes the time.
John here's got my digits. Anything you need in this town, call me.
So, I'll see you later.
Do I hear Philip Seymour Hoffman? Nah. Nice tracking shot, though. You can kind of tell that PTA wanted to come out swinging. Well, she wiped her nose, so she's got to have a dope problem.
But you'll be fired if you tell them to leave you alone.
This is something, I mean, if the hotel knew.
Do you live alone?
What is this movie? Is this Michael? Is
I do now.
Philip Baker Hall playing John Travolta? A visiting angel?
It's a big nightmare story.
You gonna solve everybody's problems in Reno?
I have bills. I have an apartment that I have to pay for. If I don't, then my credit gets fucked up, and I can't have fucked up credit because then I'm.
She's not, in my personal opinion, I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow is melding perfectly with his dialogue right now.
You look at me as a piece of shit now because you saw me coming out of that room.
To a certain degree, I think, as like a bit of a crutch, PTA kind of like overwrites characters to kind of give the performers like direction. But I don't know if Gwyneth Paltrow is like melded completely with this kind of like
Explain it to me then.
verbose, overwrought, hooker with a heart of gold kind of
I
characterization.
don't do anything that I don't want to do. You understand?
I hate that she's acting that as though it's the complete opposite.
Are you
It's like so transparent. It'd be nice to
Are
see
you
a
gonna tell
characterization
John
of a
that you
sex
saw me?
worker that is absolutely fine with their decisions, as opposed to being constantly tormented by their Catholic guilt. I mean, he would go to explore this in kind of like more accepting terms in Boogie Nights. I don't think overall there was ever like a value judgment on porn stars in Boogie Nights.
So do you have real kids, like kids of your own?
I have a boy about your age. Daughter, a few years older. I haven't spoken to them in a while.
That's too bad.
Is this a Christmas movie? Should I wait until Christmas
Maybe you'll see
to release this one? That was a nice focus pull. That was well done. Whoever was Robert Elswit's focus puller, they did a good job.
Some stuff for you.
So, like, I'm just not entirely sure why she's staying with him if she already has her own apartment.
Do you think that?
Oh, you brought me here.
Do you think that?
Oh, God. Sydney.
You should know before you ask.
Working
a question like
on Socratic dialectic.
Well, it seems like you're being nice to me, and
that. So, you'd think that I would want that?
well, if you wanted to f me, then
Stop saying that.
don't get angry.
No, I'm not. Because I understand how you could ask a question like that.
This is a weird thing to say about Paul Thomas Anderson films, but his characters are strangely transparent. There's like, I think that's part of the charm. The charm of Paul Thomas Anderson movies is that his characters are like really honest a lot of the time, and that may make them come across as like dumb or foolhardy, but makes them likable in a sheepish kind of way.
Yeah, you need something?
I mean, I just to go home and get some clothes.
So, why don't you go to the mall? Buy something nice.
And in a true romance kind of way, it's kind of weird that Gwyneth Paltrow's character has fallen in love with John.
And that
There have been stated reasons in this movie. I don't know if they quite justify the infatuation. Oh, weird handheld moment.
Why do you have two TVs?
Oh, well, see, they got pay-per-view here. That's this box, and there's a wire that comes up from the front desk that goes through this box, and then when you pick a pay movie, it tells the front desk that you got a pay movie. So what you have to do is get these little things off. You stick a key inside this little cuff right here and twist it around, and then you take the wire that comes right out of the wall that brings the movie. You take that and you put it straight into the TV. So you gotta use a regular TV. So I bring this one with me wherever we go, and I just take the cable that comes from the wall straight into this TV, and you get free movies.
Cool.
But don't say anything.
Cool.
Like to,
Cool.
front desk or anything. I gotta go talk to Sid for a second, all right? I'll be right back.
I mean, I think he writes better flirtation scenes, or more realistic flirtation scenes than I see in most movies. I think it's more realistic that a scene of romance would be a man explaining, over-explaining how something works to a woman. There he is. Oh, God.
Come on.
Miss you like hell. Oh, Phil.
Okay, I'm gonna light a cigarette now, old timer. See, the thing is, I like you, and I'm gonna light a cigarette. And I'm gonna let you have this time to play.
Just the confidence he has with his hand motions and his hand acting. Just vintage Philip Seymour Hoffman.
The way you look, I think you know what I'm saying, old timer.
I love the way... Oh, God. I'm gonna nerd out. I just love the way that Philip Seymour Hoffman takes an angle in his acting. I very rarely acts straight on. He always takes a little bit of a personality with like a head tilt. He's helped a little by the Dutch angles. The fuck?
Oh man, you play that game, don't you?
I love PSH a little too much.
All right, here we go.
Just full-on inspiration. Oh. I'm sure there are people who watched this movie the first time in like 1996 and thought, he was a ham. Or they saw him in Son of a Woman or Twister or Patch Adams and thought he was a ham. If only they could see the entire trajectory of his career from the 90s on out.
2,000, 2,000, 100, 2,000, 44!
8 easy, 8, 5 and a 3, it's a front line winner. Bam.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
Hey, big time, I'll buy you a drink.
Where? Yeah, yes. Right now.
Does it rain in Reno? I mean, this is something that like 90s cinematographers love. They love wetting the asphalt to give more kind of like lighting and visual interest to a scene. I'm just wondering, does it rain in Reno? It probably does. I'm just wondering. I'm just talking out loud. I'm just asking questions.
Is he dead?
He's just passed out.
I do like, as a kind of like as a visual rule, they kind of like keep the camera really tight in scenes and don't open it up unless they have to. So they they kept the scene on those two for a really long time and
Tell me what happened.
didn't open it up until they needed to.
This fucker hit her, Sid.
I don't know if the lighting is like great for this scene. I don't know if the overhead light is doing a great job. There's no way it would have lit her like this if it's lighting Philip Baker Hall like this. See how it's like really, really hard and like casting hard shadows on them, but not like filling out the room. This is not as like luxuriously filled as the rest of this movie has been so far. It might be because it's taking like a kind of like a tonal shift, but more so this kind of just looks like a lighting inconsistency to me, especially with how softly lit Gwyneth Paltrow is. Elswit, I'm keeping my eye on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, John?
I told her we'd kill him.
That's better. For that close-up, that was lit better.
Fucked up situation here.
But in the wide shot, it looks kind of terrible. But he looks real good in that close-up.
Sid, you gotta
And
help
now they
me.
look bad
You
again.
don't have to help us.
Looks good.
Sure as hell don't.
Looks
Why don't you
bad.
just get the f*** out of here?
We got married this afternoon.
The absurd charm of Paul Thomas Anderson characters is that they are foolish and honest.
Right? You don't have to be involved. Just don't leave.
John, if I stay here, I am involved. If I stay here, I am part of it. Do you get that?
Okay, let's just go back inside, okay?
You've got a guy unconscious in there.
I think it's
The guy
funny.
that guy you kidnapped and are holding for
It's a bad
ransom.
situation,
You realize how
but I think it's
serious
funny.
This is? How could you let her go and do a thing like this, John?
What do you think? I didn't know.
Foolhardy!
Yeah.
Just a bunch of dopes.
Yes, I didn't want her to say no later on, you know? Where am I gonna go?
I don't know, John. Away, anywhere, away.
Where'd they get the handcuffs from?
I know this is fucked up.
In a way, it's your fault.
I'm not
He's
stupid.
under
I
your
know I
care,
fucked up,
and so is
okay?
she. You were the catalyst for this situation, Sid. This is supposed to be a really tense scene, and I get in a sense that it is. I might be just comparing it too much to like
Do you love him?
the future, like more technically proficient Paul Thomas Anderson scripts, but like this is like a lot of wheel spinning, or they're like advancing the stakes very slowly within this scene.
You love him, and he loves you. And you're not gonna spoil it on this bullshit.
See that? That was a wheel turn.
All right.
That was a really adept camera work, though, by the way, going backwards down those steps. Really nicely done. This guy Elswit, he's got a career, he's got a future in this business. He should think about becoming a cinematographer. Ooh, really nice reveal on that. I like that a lot. That was a really nice tracking shot. Oh, really beautiful.
You got money?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you more money as you need it. As much as I have. You understand? As much money as I have.
I worry what you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
All right. Where are you gonna go?
It's an interesting kind of like moral dimension to this movie. The kind of like
Vegas?
No, Jesus Christ, John, don't go to Vegas.
The framework of this Sydney character. Don't go to Vegas, idiot.
It's gonna be all right, John. Hey, John, look at me. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
But there's an interesting moral framework to this Sydney character. I mean, it's been established from the beginning, but the idea that he like takes people in his charge, that he has a responsibility for them. I forget which like culture that this kind of framework is like representative of. Like, I think there was the cameraman. I think it's maybe in the Jewish tradition that if you save a person's life, then you're kind of responsible for whatever they do with that life. I don't know. That's a kind of like that's a insufficient approximation of what I'm trying to get at, but that seems to be like the moral story of what's happening with Sydney's character right now. That this movie is about him taking responsibility and taking the burden of other people's trespasses. I mean, that sounds like a Jesus story, but you know. Cool shot. We'll give it to him. I'm like actually kind of surprised how competent this movie is for being the directorial debut of Paul Thomas Anderson. Like, you'd expect it because he's such a talented filmmaker, but I had reservations about it, given like this is like a movie that absolutely nobody talks about when discussing his oeuvre.
If you want to get it annulled,
Maybe because it's like so genre specific that it like ends up being compared to like the best like casino movies or the best noir movies, as opposed to comparing it to other PTA films. I definitely feel like other Paul Thomas Anderson films like blend or defy or subvert genre a little bit more than this one does. But this is pretty competent within its own right. Maybe it just has a bad ending. That's usually why people don't like movies, because they have a bad ending.
What do you want from me?
I want you to put that goddamn cigarette
Well, I'm not gonna put the cigarette out.
All right.
I feel like Sydney's a little racist.
Do you know that guy?
Guy? Oh, got it. Clementine. No, hell no.
In like classic Lando Calrissian fashion, Samuel L. Jackson, Jimmy is mispronouncing Clementine's name.
Look, this motel thing's got nothing to do with nothing anymore. I mean, shit. Thankfully, that's done. That's over.
Thank God for great actors. I'm like listening to this dialogue and I'm picturing it.
I didn't mention it in my note, but you should be aware that I know some things about Atlantic City.
On like as lines on a page, and it looks so dumb, which is fine. Words look dumb on a page, but it really gets elevated by good actors.
I mean, I'm from back east originally. You didn't know that, but I know some things about Atlantic City.
Good actors can like elevate great texts more often than not, though. Good actors really, really cover up not great scripts.
Where you going? I said I heard the story about Atlantic City.
What?
What?
Tough guy, huh? You can tell me? You can tell me what?
What? Those days are behind me.
He shot his father in the face.
Oh. Bad.
Turn it off.
Don't.
Turn the car off, man, or I'll shoot you. Now, John doesn't know you killed his father, but I will tell him. I will tell John. I'm threatening you with the word. You understand? Yes.
Yeah, this is the reason people don't talk about this movie.
I will go to Niagara Falls and tell him.
No, don't. Please don't.
$10,000, Sydney.
I think it like
Yes, you will.
When?
it makes for like an interesting movie, and like if like Akira Kurosawa or somebody made this, but like this is like a kind of like really like it's like a kind of really it's like a really kind of I don't know, this it's like it's very this is what I'm looking for a synonym for honest. It's very transparent. It's not transparent that I'm looking for. Genuine. It's kind of it's a very genuine kind of redemptive story that's like is not I don't know. I feel like it's too Pollyanna-ish for Paul Thomas Anderson. Like if PTA was writing this simple a story, it comes out like Punch Drunk Love. There's like a hint of irony to it. Like it doesn't have as like kind of like I don't know. This like this kind of revelation like hello. Like I said, I think this would work better if like Akira Kurosawa was directing it, and it was the story of a man seeking redemption after a lifetime of violence or something. I feel like those morals and that conflict works better in his head. The way it comes off right now for PTA style, it just like it comes off as like so like bland and dutiful and like, oh, bet you didn't see this one coming. What a great twist. He actually killed the guy's father, and that's why he wants to take care of him. That's too much. Like that's it's painfully melodramatic. Like I don't even know what to say.
Don't fucking do that, you understand?
You're not the antagonist. I'm mad because they're pumping him up to be the villain so that you feel kind of catharsis when Sidney overcomes him. But
So high and mighty. And what am I to you?
I don't know.
Some loser?
He's not the source of conflict in this movie. Like Sidney's the source of conflict. We shouldn't feel justified when he overcomes the evil Jimmy.
It's something you need to know.
John Bryan trying to do Ennio Morricone.
I need to tell you. I love you, John. I love you like you were my own son.
Thank you, Sid. I love you too.
I think this is a great scene. It's just ruined by the fact that he killed his dad. What stupid stakes to superimpose onto this movie. Dude, I'm so mad. If Samuel L. takes the L on this, if he gets killed in another movie, I'm gonna be so pissed. Ooh, edgy. It's a dark story of how he has to become the avenging angel again. He has to return to his dark roots in order to secure his future with his family. It's basically The Godfather. I think it's an interesting ending of him becoming like the dark figure again in order to like secure his family. Like it's the ending is actually an expression of his selfishness, and I actually don't think Samuel L. Jackson is being framed as like necessarily like a bad guy in this situation. I think genuinely Sidney is being portrayed as probably in the wrong for killing Samuel L. and killing Jimmy, and Jimmy isn't like so much seen as like a bad force that needs to be purged, so much as an idiot who's walking into his death, and that's an unfortunate thing. Who can say where the wind blows? I didn't want to see another Samuel L. death. I really, really didn't. How does he feel about this? It feels a little like, if you take it over like a 10-year period, it might start to feel a little bit like if you keep showing up in white people's movies and you keep on dying, it might be just like a hint racially motivated. Yeah, I don't see them working out. Man, wasn't that fucking stupid when they said that he killed his father? What a dumb thing to have in a movie. So I guess what I'd say is Philip Seymour Hoffman is amazing. Yeah. I was a bit pogged off for this movie when it started off. I think it made a lot of great decisions, and especially when I saw that in the midpoint, when I saw that tracking shot of them coming out of the hotel room and getting into the car and driving off, that was great. I was like fully on board with the movie at that point. I could see why it petered off a little bit. I can see why people might not have like the highest esteem for this movie, especially when compared to all of Paul Thomas Anderson's follow-ups, because this was understandably a very self-contained movie and like meant to be, I'm sure, like a bit of a character study, a bit of a prestige piece for Philip Baker Hall, and it definitely achieved that. He was great in this movie. But yeah, for a first-time movie, it's pretty good. I think this Paul Thomas Anderson, might have a future in this business. He should try directing another film, see how it works out. Who cares what the fuck I think about a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, honestly. So anyways, yeah, that was Hard 8. Let me know if you've seen it, if you liked it. What's your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film? Mine would be The Master? Hit the like button if you like this video. And subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, keep watching good movies. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Oh, what a blessing. What a blessing on this world. PSH, man. PSH!